No male house cleaners. We only want females. You've heard this before, right? We're going to talk about that today. What do you do? Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by mycleaningconnection.com, which is a hub of some really cool cleaning stuff. So there are articles, and there are magazines, and there are books, and there are cleaning supplies. There's reference material and a whole bunch of other stuff that you may want to check out. mycleaningconnection.com. All right, on to today's show, which is from a house cleaner who has this question.
Hi Angela, I have a client who is refusing to have a male cleaner to do her house. I've also had this from two other customers. Where do I stand on that? As obviously it's not politically correct, but they request only a female. I don't really know what to say to the male cleaner. He feels like he's not good enough. I have told him the actual reason why. How do I stand from a company point of view on this? Thank you.
All right, you're absolutely correct. It is politically incorrect to not want a man to come clean your house. Now, we have to go back and ask a couple of questions about that. Is it this particular man, or is it all men in general? Because there are women who have had some really bad experiences with men, and they don't want a man inside their house. For whatever reason, they don't feel safe. It makes them uncomfortable, whatever. And we have to honor that because these are our customers. It would be akin to a female roofing houses. Now, there's nothing to say a woman can't roof houses, but that's not the traditional, normal stereotype. And so if you saw a woman on a house, it might make you uncomfortable. Like, hey, I don't want her falling off. And you start thinking of things like she's in childbearing years and all these things. If she falls off the roof of my house, she breaks her pelvic or something, and then she'll never be able to have kids. There are weird reasons that we don't understand why a woman may not want a man in her house. And it might just be a particular man. So the man that you are inviting to come to her house to clean, she might not like him if she meets him for some reason, like maybe he reminds her of her ex. Or maybe she reminds him of her brother who caused her lots of chaos and tormented her and teased her throughout her life. I don't know. I do know that there's a real thing about meeting somebody and not connecting with that person. And if you don't connect with that person, you do have issues. I remember one time I went to hire a woman and I didn't like her. I don't know why I didn't like her because she had done nothing wrong to me. But I didn't like her. There was just this overwhelming sensation of I hated her. And I went through the interview process, whatever, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't hire you. And she said, you don't like me, do you? I said, I don't. And I don't trust you. And I don't know why. I'm being totally honest and totally open here. I don't know why. I don't know where it's coming from. You have done nothing wrong to me. You're professional. You're qualified. There are all these reasons why you would be a perfect candidate for this job. But I cannot work with you, and I don't know why. And the only excuse I had was this. At the end of the day, you go home to your life or whatever after you get the job, and I have to live with myself and my gut instincts. And my gut instincts say we are not a good fit for each other, and I have no idea why. And she's like, oh my goodness, I appreciate the honesty. And we had a good laugh over it, and I sent her on her way. And to this day, I cannot explain why I had that feeling, but I knew I could not work with her. And that's only ever happened once in all the people that I've met and all the people that I've interviewed. So it might just be this particular man is not connecting with her. But now if it's all men, then we have to look at the conversation a little bit differently because we don't want your employees to feel inferior, that they're not good enough to go to a customer's house. In my experience, and I don't want to stereotype, but in my experience, the men that we have as house cleaners far outperform the women on so many occasions. They don't have PMS for the most part. They don't get emotionally attached to items and objects. And so as they clean, it's like laser focused. They go in, they get the job done, they get out again. They work on time, they're efficient, they're fast, they're consistent, they're thorough, they're on task. And so I love hiring male house cleaners because the work and the productivity is through the roof. But if it comes down to a particular client that has an issue, and it could be an issue about a variety of different politically incorrect opinions. It could be religion, it could be race, it could be whatever. I mean, there are a variety of different reasons why people won't work with some particular person or religion or background or upbringing or ethnicity, like I say, or whatever. It's just people are funny. And so what you might do is you might confront the client and say, is it this particular man or is it all men in general? And then let her know what your options are. Right now, my options are only men. I only have this one man with availability to come to your house. Do you want to be put on a waiting list when I hire another female who's able to come? Or you might just say, then we're not a good fit for each other, and you might move on and recommend somebody else that can come clean her house. So it's a weird situation, but you do have to address it because it's very real. There are a lot of females who have had bad experiences with men, and they don't want a man in their house for whatever reason. And so I don't want to go into all the reasons why, you can kind of imagine, but there are some bad experiences that will prevent a woman from having a man come clean her house. Alrighty, so it's unfortunate, and I'm sorry that's the case, but that's my 2 cents for today. All right, until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.